What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Let's get it. Continuing studying. You know what I'm saying? Just came across some good information, y'all. So let's get to it, bro. Came across some crazy information. Real time. Ain't no, I wonder. This stuff actually happened. So, we're going to take our time. We're going to get into this. We're going to research together. If I don't know something, we're going to look it up together. I could double tap the screen. So let's get some people flowing in here. Because I got some good information, bro. I had to take a step. Like, I came across some. I had to go outside for a second. Because I'm like, hold on. I had to take my time. Start getting excited once I start seeing it's true. So let's get to it, y'all. It's all within. It's going to always be that. Y'all could double tap the screen. Because I'm going to get some people in here first. And we're gonna read this Voyages 2 Secrets of a Mentee. I'm gonna put it in a comment so y'all could pull it up if y'all want to for yourselves, because don't just take my word for it. It's out there, all right? We're gonna start here you go. Yeah, it's gonna be just 1 minute. Y'all take your time to look that up. That's if y'all want to. You don't got to. But what's the name? Yeah, we gonna start from oh man, it's so cool. 71,000. I'm thinking about all the years and stuff like that, like the times, the time cycles and how they all play into what I'm gonna tell y'all. But I gotta make sure I have a solid foundation for y'all. What happened to the computer? Like, come on, bro. Y'all could double tap the screen for me so we can get some people in here. It's gonna be a nice, knowledgeable day. And we're gonna make it fun too. Okay. Let's see. So I got some notes written down right here too. So we'll make sure everything is in order. 226,556 years. What's up, y'all? It's a nice day today. Pretty chilly outside, but I'm glad it didn't snow. Appreciate the repost, man. Thank you, brother. I'm telling y'all, bro, ascension is not fake, bro. This shit is real life, bro. And it's gonna be as natural as this happening, and as natural as us talking. It ain't gonna. It depending on how you look at it, but just know it's gonna be. It's just gonna go. Just gonna go. You know. What's up, y'all? We finna get this finna be good, bro. This finna be good, bro. Watch, bro. Show y'all the reason why Jesus did what he did, why INCARNATE did what he did, why Atlantis was a part of everything, why Atlantis is so important. Appreciate it, the afterlife, brother. Thank you, man. Yellow Bird has joined. What's up? You know, it's gonna be good, y'all. Just, it's all right here and right here. Make sure you listen while you're listening. I did comment. Let me see if I can repin it. Let me see. So that way y'all can, if y'all want to look it up yourself, y'all can. I'm not misleading nobody. Like I say, when I'm reading this right here, I'm also like, I'm not just immersed in the story. You get what I'm saying? Thank you for the share, bro. And y'all want to know something? I just turned 25, bro. Today, my birthday, bro. And the fact that I'm starting to understand this, like incarnate identities and stuff like that, Come on, man. What up, Amanda? What up? We discussing time cycle mechanics, planetary evolution, incarnation identities. Thank you. 25, bro. I'm telling you, watch. It's all natural, man. Everything has a structure. Everything has a system that it goes through. So Earth does have a time system that it goes through. Thank you, brother. Yes, bro. That's what we're gonna go into. Incarnation. Like, I literally was thinking, like, what were you doing before you was born? What was you doing? Whatever year y'all was born in, think about the year before that, and then the year before that. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you was born in 1992, what was you doing in 1991? You was in another incarnate body. Or maybe you was waiting inside of the sphere of Amenti. You know, maybe you was on your other home planet chilling, waiting for the next incarnation wave. Come on, y'all. Come on. This is real. 2000 to 2017 is when the we got to go into it, because I'm not finna mix these words up, bro. Because you know, information as detailed as this, you got to be careful with how you say it, because like. But the thing is that when it has as much detail as it has, the stuff that you read before it, even if in a book it kind of messes up where it says something, you would know, like, that's not what they really meant. Because mind you, possession or biofield distortions and stuff like that is real. When you walking around not knowing why you stressed out, or when you walking around not knowing why you tired, when you know you did what you were supposed to do, you know you ate right, you know you stretched before you went to work, you know something is messing with you. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes it can just be for physical stuff. It can just be because you're tired. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta learn how to weigh out the options. You know what I'm saying? Look at yourself. And the thing is, when it comes to women, they be having a heads up when it comes to that. They can literally be the teachers on how to listen to your body. You get what I'm saying? Like, they can literally be the teachers, because that emotional or that magnetic edge that they have, because they pull stuff in, so they're going to have that understanding of their inner body. So that's why it's kind of hard for them to use their brain on a day-to-day basis like men can, because their body, bruh. Like, this is, even studying this, it's literally helping me, like, develop an even more softer side for females. That don't mean I'm gonna treat y'all like princesses, because y'all are princesses to me, but that don't mean y'all gonna be treated like that. If y'all treat me wrong, you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna treat you wrong, but I'm gonna talk to you and be like, hey, and make you feel like, hey, make you feel like you treated me wrong because you did. You know what I'm saying? But on the inside, it's like, oh my God, I don't want to do this, but she has to learn. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are literally y'all home base. Everybody is, everything I'm saying can apply to everybody, but there's details to this. It's structure to this. So some people may have it better, or not better, but some people may have more inclination towards that side. You know what I'm saying? That's why there are roles in certain situations, in certain settings, when they come man and female. You know what I'm saying? So hell yeah, bro. Yeah, man, we finna get into this. So we talking about like I say, time cycle mechanics, incarnate identities, DNA, and planetary evolution, right? So we gonna start from, so mind you, time cycle mechanics. There is a 26,556 year harmonic time cycle. All right. So what I'm gonna do is, I got the notes right here. They all sloppy, but I'm gonna rewrite them better. So as I'm explaining it to you, I'm gonna write it down so you can follow. So let's make this a nice size right here. Cause y'all, this is gonna be great, yo. This is gonna be great. Just keep an open mind and try to hear what I'm saying, because I actually, like when I figured this out, like, there was one part I said, hold on real quick. So he telling me it's 12. We gonna get into it, bro. Fuck. All right. So within a time continuum, there is 26,556 years. So Earth goes through 6 smaller versions of that, which is 4,000 426 years. So you can put it in a calculator. 4,426 times 6 is 26,556. Right? So 426 years. These are this, they call it time continua. Like I said, this is what Jesus literally came in doing it. Like he knew this stuff. Like he was like, okay, so around this half point cycle, Earth is going to pass through its parallel. So I got to make sure I send a certain amount of people before then, so they won't. Because a lot of shit that went down with reptilians and Anunnaki, and they messing with our DNA. When we passing through certain cycles, we leave back. You know what I'm saying? We leave. You can call it debris. It's not necessarily debris, but it's fragments of consciousness. I'm gonna say we leave back fragments of consciousness due to all the bloodshed and all the war that went on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you cut yourself or somebody chop their arm off and they leave it on the ground, they just keep walking. Their arm is gonna heal, but it's not gonna be full. That's literally how consciousness works. Think about consciousness as big old glass ball, and you drop the ball and everything fragments it. Now you got different cycles of how things work. Okay, the wind may blow the glass this way, and that glass may go integrate with the grass. This glass may go integrate with the building. You know what I'm saying? That's literally, so Earth integrates with different portions of itself in different time continua, and there are different versions of yourself existing right now in different time continua, and you access these different versions of you in dream states. So this helped me consolidate it now. So if you're having a dream about the past, that means you are literally you oh my, come on, y'all gotta hear me out, bro. Think about, there's a substance inside of you, just hear me out, y'all, because this is good, bro. This is starting to make sense. So just draw a little claymation body. So imagine this is the human body, right? We go around every day like this with nothing on the inside. We just going to work, going to sleep, waking up, just going. And what happens is the body just going to deteriorate because it has the energy has to go somewhere, right? So, but now think about when you go into the dream world, you're not using that body no more. You're using this body, right? You're using this body. That's the body you're using. And guess what? Inner also refers to an outer. So there's also an expansive state version of that body as well, right? So just like that, right? So you can either operate like you're tapping into this body to access this body, to access the outer body. So like I say, there's your base tone, which is your physical body. This is the body that you entered in, boom, right? But then there are energetic substances that are flowing within your body that allows for the projection of reality. Because if there wasn't no consciousness in the body would just be an AI. Come on, y'all. The body would just be AI. And it would just be going off a set of programs. It wouldn't be, actually experiencing the human experience. It would just be going off a set of programs, right? Having your own choices, it keeps you from going off of a set of programs. But then also you got to think about it. In relation to that, there has to be a program in place that you operate on so you can make choices on. So then that's where the argument about, so people are like, yeah, that's where NPCs are AIs. I don't look at people like NPCs, but if I say the word NPC, I'm just saying somebody that doesn't operate from within, or somebody that doesn't have a deep understanding of their inner world. Like they like, should I do this? Because they they're listening to their inner processes. This is why I say women have the upper hand when it comes to that. It's not an upper hand like a battle, but I'm just saying, like, they already have that edge. So women go off of their inner world already. You know what I'm saying? So women already have that edge in learning how to already teach people, okay, so like when I'm feeling this way, like, how do you feel like how do you know how to feel that? Because some men, when people out this world, they don't know how to, like, feel. People say I don't feel emotions, I don't have fear. Like, what, interesting, And them the people that the fallen angels be attacking, like the people and people in indigo children like us on here, like they will attack us, but at the same time they like to go for the people that don't really know nothing, or the people that you know what I'm saying. But they know if they come across somebody that knows something, it's a big thing. But like I say, when you're entering into the dream world, you're operating within your subtle body, right? You tap in, like this body right here is accessed through this. Just close your eyes. them particles that you see moving around is literally a relation to who you are as a person. Right. So when you understand that, that's gonna make you want to change. Like if you start saying, I don't want to have nightmares no more, then that means you're gonna have to start treating people different in the world. And that already give you, you know what I'm saying, that already give you an edge and bettering yourself. Because you start seeing the world beyond this one. It's like, hold on, if I'm pissed off in this world, what is it gonna look like in that world? You get what I'm saying? So it plays a huge part. So time continue. There's 26,556 years, right? We got one more half cycle left. We got one more 2,213 cycle left. This is what they're talking about Revelations, y'all. It's coming. But they're trying to speed it up. They don't want it to happen the way, because it's going to be a natural cycle. They don't want it to be natural. They want it to be unnatural. But then the Guardians, like, since they trying to speed it up, we going to have to put a certain system over theirs that's not going to allow theirs to overlay. AI is their system, y'all. Everything I'm saying is in physical play. AI, bro. AI is the fallen angels game. The Guardians are trying to teach us to use AI, but not in a way to where we give it power. We just using it to get the hell on. You know what I'm saying? Like, not let it necessarily leave, but you know what I mean? Make the world a better place. I don't think we have to integrate it into society. Like, I think humans should still do like work. Like, humans should still be out here on their own 2 feet, out here grinding, but we just use AI in times when we need it. Well, how come we okay with using God when we need him? The God of the Bible when we need him. We use AI when you need it. Mm-hmm. We okay with going to God when we sad, you know. But in reality, you gotta go to yourself, and then go to the people around you. Don't go to technology, even though sometimes it can help. So it's like, the more I'm telling you, the more and more I grow up, the more and more I'm starting not to be like a never always type person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always like this, or don't ever use this, or I can't never be that person no more. You know what I'm saying? I put myself through a lot of crazy situations to realize like why people do the things they do. Did it on purpose. It's like an experiment. It's a dangerous game. I don't recommend it to nobody. But but growing up, what was it, at 13, 14? No, when I started getting into spirituality, that's when I started developing like a heavy level of self-awareness. So even when I was in crazy situations, I would still know I'm safe. Like, that's just me though. That's not the same for everybody. Crazy situations, y'all. But it taught me, you know what I'm saying, people though. It taught me how people be. So, and it helped me develop a soft spot for people. Like, I care, nigga. You know? So let's do it. So there are 4 time continua. 10. There are 4 time continua and 1 time continuum. No, I'm sorry, 6 time continua and 1 time continuum. All right. So in understanding that, I was tallying it up, and I was like, we went through. So if the Earth has to go through a cycle of 26,556 years, and from my understanding, humans came here 25 million years ago. When Earth fell in consciousness, 26,556 times, what did I say? I think it's 600. No, that's 15 million. So we got here. So probably, I think it's 1,000. Some roughly 1,000. So yeah, the Earth had to go through 1,000, like in linear time, 1,026,556 year cycles before it can be able to house human forms. This is the stuff they're not gonna tell you though. So I would expect for it not to be a lot of people in this kind of live, because I mean, it's outrageous to make these damn claims, but it's true though. And I know it's true because, I mean, look at the state of the world. Everybody's talking about ascension. Everybody's talking about consciousness. Everybody's talking about this. And we got 2,000 years left. But then, like I said, the Guardians are trying to speed it up 20 years. They're trying to speed it up 21 years to 2047. It's called the starburst cycle, where it's like they bring certain morphogenetic field energies down into the higher frequency bands of the 3rd dimension, so they wouldn't have to wait. So they wouldn't have to wait for it to so they wouldn't have to wait for a natural blending period. This is what they did when they did when they had helped Akhenaten come into existence. They brought the sphere of Amenti down into the higher frequency bands of the third dimension, so they wouldn't have to wait for another morphogenetic wave, right? So that way they can speed up the process of ascension. They literally came to help us, y'all. So yeah, look. They go into Philadelphia experiments, the Montauk Project, 1943, 1983, 2003. This is recent, y'all. Come on now. What we waiting on? You feel me? It ain't nothing to be afraid of. It just go within and start treating yourself with respect. You know what I'm saying? In the process of getting there, you might be aggravated. Like, bro, man, I went through it last night, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the idea, like, I gotta go out there and just take it on the chin. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just go out there and take it on the chin. Even my beautiful women. And it's sad. That's where I be getting the most saddest though. Cause the women gotta go through it, bro. That shit piss me off. And then guess what happened? You know, this is how I know this shit is true. You gotta watch yourself. Systems like the yin and yang and systems like the Kabbalah tree of life and all this stuff, they cause energy to fold in on itself like this. So it causes energy to fold in on itself like this. So if I draw a circle, the yin and yang, boom, 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 boom. Right? If I draw this is basically energy being pulled in like a torus. It looks like this. This is not natural, y'all. I know y'all see this all the time, and y'all be like, "Oh, the universe spoke to me, and this is the truth." This is not the truth. It's a half truth because it shows you energy. It shows you balance in the form of good and evil. It's a half truth, though. It's not the full truth, but it's true. It has some truth. So I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's detrimental if you think it's the full truth. Right? So if you look at this from a 3D perspective, oh, you can't hear? Damn, hold on. Let me bring it closer. What you need me to repeat? Where didn't you hear me at? Because I don't want to just start from anywhere. Can you hear me now, Tam? The Tara field. On God. Fifth dimension, y'all. And it's not skipping the fourth dimension. The fifth dimension, I got you. I'm about to say. All right, I know somebody named Seven. I'm about to say, what? Hell no, that's crazy work, B. But yeah, this is. Can y'all hear me? Tammy, can you hear me? Let me make sure. Appreciate it. Okay. Just want to make sure because Tammy said she couldn't hear me. I want to make sure I start from where I was, but I was saying this. This is not how it is, y'all. All right. If y'all ever see this again, y'all look at it and y'all be like, okay, I see what they mean. It's like energy flowing up and out and around 7D, fell 2D, the 5D creating heaven on earth. I don't know necessarily about that, but I got documents on what like right now our consciousness is stationed within the low to middle frequency bands of the fourth dimension. That's why we can perceive the physical reality because we're actually perceiving particles right now. We're not perceiving this physical stuff. This is just a hologram. So we're actually perceiving particles. So when we go into the fifth dimension, we're going to exist within the middle to low frequency bands of the fifth dimension. See, this is why I want to get to it right here. But yeah, like I say, this is a half truth, y'all. Okay, it's originally supposed to be like this: a center point. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is how it's supposed to look. See how like a flower, it's expanding out, not folding in. Look at the difference, y'all. But guess what? It still has energy where it's cold. It's still coming in, but it's a flow. It's a flow state, but it's a structured flow state, not just flowing. You just ooh. No, you like this, but then you stop at certain times. You observe, study if you want to. You talk to people if you want to. Then you go. And then you go again. Travel to this planet. Do that, but in a different way. Now you may be floating like this because you're in a different planetary system, right? So, like I say, there's a 26,556 year time continuum, and there are 6 time continua within that. So 4,426 years. So like I said, Earth had to go through 1,000 of those in order to be able to house planetary life 25 million years ago. Right? So like what I've been meaning to do is use this time cycle to see how it leads up literally to 2026. Right? And that's where I got to thought, like, what was I doing before I was born? Like, it's pretty interesting. Right? So, like I said, Jesus was born 12 AD. He ascended in 27 AD. Right? And then the Guardian said the next our ascension cycle started in 196 AD. So that's 27, 6, probably like 100 some days, 100, almost 200, almost 100 some days after Jesus, 170 something days, 160 some days. So yeah, it says we are taking. Wait, where is that? The ascension cycle began 2,194 years ago. So let's see. This was written in this book was written. So we're gonna make it more accurate. This is what I mean by studying, because the book gonna tell you whatever time like it started, but only in relation to when the book was written. So I think it was 2,000 or something like that. Let's see. Let's see when this book was written, so we can get a good idea. I think it was July. Where is the date? So it was written 2002. So if it's 20 years later, 24 years later, so 2,194 plus or minus? Is it minus? Or is it with Ozzy? Because I don't know what I'm. Let me see. 2,194 minus 24. This is what was written. It's 94 years ago. I can't even press it. Plus. So yeah, so I'm thinking, wow, y'all. Wait a second. 213 plus 213 with 2013. 2,213 plus 2,213 4426. It started like our ascension cycle started what the fuck? This is crazy. 2,218. So 5 years ago, 2023. I mean, January just started, but yeah, 2023. That was 2,213. And time do be going by fast though, y'all. I gotta think about it. Yeah, this is what I kind of expected this for this live to be like that. 2 people and this and that. Because when talking about aliens or, you know what I'm saying, they like that kind of stuff. And I agree. Yeah, but this is only for a certain, like, Y'all proved that. It's only 2 people, only for a certain group of people that really want to know, like ascension though, like the process of it, like the reason why certain information come out at a certain time, the reason why you drop the reason why you dropped the plate this day and you didn't drop it that day, stuff like that. Why is happening now and this never happened before? Out of all the times I used it, it want to break now. It's the same thing. It's because certain things are happening in the time cycle mechanics. It's like the accretion of particles is coming. When you start noticing things as out of the ordinary, think about it, y'all. That's how you know something's coming. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Just energy wise. Not no being out of the sky or rockets from a ship. None of that kind of stuff. No. It's just natural, bro. It's natural. It's natural, bro. It's simple. Like the principle is simply particle accretion. Damn, what was that? It was simply particle accretion, y'all. That's all. Okay, and the earth takes on the structure in order to be able to show us that. All right, so look, it says a planet evolves through the 3-dimensional bands of harmonic universe 1, utilizing 6 of the time continua, 2 in each dimension. So in each dimensional band, we're in the 3rd dimensional band, right? There is past and the future, but they both span 4,226 years, or 4,426 years on both sides. Right, and then it also for the 2nd dimension and the 1st dimension. But think about it: the 2nd dimension and the 1st dimension are past memories. The dimensions above are the future. The lower you, the lower you vibrate, or the lower, I'm not going to even say vibrate because vibrate depends on the particle. The lower your frequency is, regardless of your vibration or your oscillation, your frequency, whatever you're allowing in your frequency to feed the vibration and oscillation rate. Right, so if you eating food that's gonna make your stomach hurt, that's going to speed up your vibration rate and slow down your oscillation rate. In turn, lower your frequency, because the more you vibrate, the more you're taking on the energies of the 3rd dimension. The more you oscillate, the more you're taking the dimensions on. The more you're taking the energy and frequencies of the astral planes on up. Right? So the higher your frequency, you'll begin to envision what your future gonna be like. The lower your frequency, you'll just be focused on trauma. So the process of healing trauma is learning about your past, utilizing higher frequency. So when you're studying your past, you can still see what difference to make in that past. And you make that difference now. So to heal from certain trauma, it's crazy we go into this, but to heal from certain trauma, you have to reintroduce yourself to a similar environment. So damn, great example. So if you grew up and you had parents that ignored you, right? Most likely, and you didn't know how to heal from it in that time frame. You grew up and you dating people, and the people that you're dating ignore you a lot. That's giving you an opportunity to learn how to heal from it. You stop expecting them to answer you. That'll keep you from stepping outside of yourself too much. You get what I'm saying? So once you re-enter that environment, an environment where you have a hard time talking to females, an environment where you have a hard time dealing with stress, and those are times but when you have time to yourself, you come up with you come up with certain ideas like, will this work? Will this work? You try it out, and then guess what? You ask people for help as well. This is all part of everything I'm saying is ascension. I'm telling y'all this because, damn, like I can say it now. We got 2,000 years left, if not less. Because like they said, originally it was supposed to be the next half point cycle begins the next half point cycle is 4,230 AD. Yes, yeah. It's a day-to-day process. But if you know what if you know what it leads to, that's the best part. And for me in that process, once I know what I was leading to, it kind of made me impatient. But then now it was teaching me to step back, because even if you do take on certain energies that make you uncomfortable, some energies, not all, sometimes it's best to let the energies ride out. Like an energy of aggravation, an energy of sadness, the energy of confusion. Sometimes let it ride out so you can feel it and understand the in and outs of it. So when it comes back around, you ain't gonna be bullshitting no more. Like, for example, it's like habits. If you come home and the first thing you do is sit down, right? But then the next time you come home and you say, I'm gonna take a shower. Okay, you come home, take a shower, boom, you did that. Next time you come home, sit down. Damn, you be like, hold on, wait a second. I remember the last time I did this. Okay, get up. You know what I'm saying? So let's do it. Y'all be getting to it, right? So a planet evolves through the three-dimensional bands of harmonic universe 1 and UAO, right? That's called a time continuum, 26,556 years is a UAO. We ain't gonna use them terminology. They're kind of confusing, but I like how they did that because it also shows the distortion of the English language. Why is it a million words that mean the same thing? that just shows the English language is, but that's why certain cultures around the world, they more closely knitted because their language is aligned with each other. It's not like I say the and this person over there say the, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, that's just another way to say the. So why is it spelled the same then? You get what I'm saying? English language is on bullshit. So I'm gonna mention the words that they use, but then tell you what words I'm gonna use, so you won't get confused. Like, right? So, y'all ready? A planet passes through the 6 smaller time continua as progression upwards through the dimensional scale. So it was crazy. It got me thinking like we spiraling like this. Like if you look at the spring on the suspension in the car. Thank you for the gift, bro. Let's go. What is it? A J? How would I? Jesus. I guess I don't know. It's a J. What do I say for that? What is it called so I could act it out? A jelly? A Jerusalem? But yeah, I think of it like this. If you think about the springs on the car and the suspension. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. So this is how we evolving, y'all. But mind you, it's also other ones, bro. It's not just that simple B, but the principle is there. The principle is spiraling upwards, okay? This is us right here. Upwards, though. And Earth is right here. And there are different energies that feeds into Earth and out of Earth and allows for ascension to occur. It's pretty cool, right? Oh, yeah. I just came up with that now. How come I didn't come up with that when I was studying before? You know what I'm saying? That's because teamwork makes the dream work. All right, so a planet passes through each of the 6 4,426 year cycles, time continua, as progression upwards the dimensional scale within harmonic universe 1, right? Each dimensional band, so now we're in harmonic universe 1. Let me put it like this. 1D, 2D, wait a second, hold on. Yeah, 1D, 2D, 3D. So yeah, so here you go. That's how it's like spheres within spheres, all right? 1D. So there are 2 time continuas within each. I'm gonna put an arrow towards it so you know it's pointing towards that one. So that's 2, 4, 6. So there you go, 2, 2, 2. Sorry about that. So you see the arrow, I put the arrow right next to the letter D so you know it's to that one specifically, right? So magically that adds up to 26,556 years. So now let's get into a little bit more detail of it so y'all can understand, like, if you catch yourself thinking into the past. See, this is, okay, I'm gonna just, a bit of a tangent. Bashar, okay? He's channeling through Daryl. Channeling is a no-go. I don't care how it works. Because what happens is, it's like allowing a ghost to literally step inside your body and take control over you. That's why he's sitting like that. And good day to you. Stuff like that. Like, but when you talking to him in an interview, he's a regular person. That's because he's channeling a fallen entity. He even said his world is ran by AI now. I don't care how beautiful that is. It's not beneficial to evolution. But at the same time, it can help. It's false light teaching. It can help, but not to where you're integrating it into society. Like you know what I'm saying, creating AI towers and no, that's gonna fuck Earth up. That's like how would you even say it? Like the body is Earth. It's like driving a stick through your arm. It's not natural. You don't mix artificial and natural. This is what they're trying to do and use the artificial to take over the natural. Let me just go on a tangent real quick because this also plays a part in ascension. This is trying to divert our ascension. So now on this graph, I've drawn up. Damn, I ain't gonna. Damn. Okay, so we're gonna. So we're gonna do a different graph this time, just so we can make it clear. So you got Earth in the center, because this is where we are. So it's in the center. Earth. That's what my nephew said. So Earth has 4, and we're gonna get into that too. But Earth has 4 future cycles that it span out to. Right? I'm gonna put those 4 spirals going up and out the paper. And that represents the 5th, 6th, and 7th dimension. No, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th dimension out. Kind of, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm kind of making it up. Don't quote me on that, okay? But it's just an idea. This is how you exercise your brain. You know what I'm saying? So don't quote me on that. Y'all might have different ideas. That's just my idea. All right, and then you also got 2. I'm gonna put them like going diagonally out. You got 2 spirals that go that phase through parallel Earth, right? And some of those Earths are one of the 2 parallel Earths are Phantom Earth. This is what they're trying to link us to. This is why they created Age of Ultron, the movie, because they opened a wormhole linking us to their planet. That's a parallel Earth. All this talk about parallel is real, y'all. It's just different phases. All right. Oh yeah. Let me go to my notes real quick, and I'm gonna read something to y'all about AI, so y'all can see how it's trying to divert. It's trying to divert us from ascension, like organic ascension, meaning we exist in like a beautiful light body. Let me just give you an idea of what kind of body in the 4th dimension. Something like this, carbon crystal. This is how we would exist in the 4th dimension. You will know you're in the 4th dimension in your dreams if you look down at your arm and you can see through it. You will know you're in the 4th dimension. It's like semi-etheric, so it still has some type of matter to it, but it's not as dense as this. Think about this, but more like Jello. That's a good way to put it, like Jello. But also something like this, because you know there are also different constructs of semi-etheric energy, so it's not just like, you know what I'm saying. Next time y'all pop on them shrooms and stuff, y'all think about it like this, man. Y'all gonna be like, whoa, this is actually real. Start looking at your environment. Everything, like after she was like, everything that you're perceiving is your particles of your morphogenetic field. So when I look at it, I even now, I stand up and look at everything and I'm like, even if it's not my stuff, damn, that's me. The placement of it, the way it's sitting, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Bro, people are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I say is the same for you, but it's in a different way. The principle is the same, but the details are different, okay? The principle is the same. The principle is that we're human, right? The details is that you walk different, you talk different, your eyes are different. Yeah, I seen an alien before. It looked similar to that, but it was more it was like white. I was 9 years old. It was standing around a deep freezer, and I woke up in the back of the SUV, and I was like, huh? I was like dying. I was like, huh? Mom, Dad? And I seen these spirits standing right there floating around, and I was like, what the hell? And I just ran. I remember everything. I ran to the door, tried to unlock it. It wouldn't unlock, and I ran back to the car. I didn't even look at them again. I didn't. I was scared, bro. Like it was dark. Imagine in a dark ass garage. Like what the fuck? I'm 9 years old in a dark ass garage, and then I ran to the car and opened the glove box and grabbed a nickel. And I was like, open the doors, rub my eyes, turn around, and it was gone. And I ran upstairs. Oh God, bro. So, oh yeah, let me tell you about AI real quick. And the sun went down pretty fast. It's only 4. Remember, it's all about particles, y'all. Okay? If y'all ever get lost in what I'm saying, just be like, so if my frequency is this, I'm going to attract this. My particles link to other particles in the environment in relation to itself. So even me doing this, y'all, even though I'm conscious of doing it, my particles are in relation to what I'm doing. So I'm operating. My hand is moving through particles in order to make it appear like I'm moving. Right? So fire, bro. So fire. So look, AI is being used to alter our reality. It is done by just simple, y'all. Simple. I just V Gaines. Wait, let me see something. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, he wasn't listening. That's crazy. But it's done simply, y'all. This is how simple it is to manipulate a culture or distort a culture by introducing it to the public and manipulating us into using it via ads. Somebody walking around with the visor on, you know what I'm saying? And everybody like, wow, what is that? He looks so cool, right? AI directly interfaces with our reality via the third dimensional particles, colliding with the particles within the technological devices, which then causes a reverse spin in our particles, in our environment, resulting in the distortion of our reality. So it's like if you stare at the screen too long and you look up, you like, what the hell? You got the wait, I forgot what it was called, but the screen high. Like your particles have been overridden. So now when you look up, you're trying to recalibrate the particle. But this is why on TV or YouTube they got uh what you call it? The quality of the video. It's the same as this. When you do this and you open your eyes, it's potato quality. it's 240p. Then the more and more I open it, then it become 44p. What is that? 144,000p. 2464k. You feel me? Or 2164k. This is they get it from us. Even the sound of a truck backing up. They get it from us, y'all. The way the bulldozer, or what is it? The thing that carry the dirt. They get it from us, y'all. The excavator, they get it from the trunk of an elephant. They moving they get it from us. Everything that they need is us. It's us, y'all. Come on now. So they need us in order to create these certain environments. They had to study the human body in order to learn how to use something on the outside of it to mirror it. So AI is basically backwards biology. AI is reversed, backwards, inverted biology, y'all. That's all it is. It's you, but flipped. It's like looking into a mirror of your thoughts. Like what you see is gonna be your thoughts, but they're gonna be in reverse. It's crazy, y'all. And they know this stuff too. I'm gonna tell y'all, 1943, they got information from the Zeta, right? So boom, causes a reverse spin. So to avoid this, the reverse spin of particles, when using AI, like this is AI right here, right? When using AI, do not try to imagine yourself in that particular reality, y'all. Like you see the darkness in the background. What would it feel like if I was in there? Like no, right? As that will cause your consciousness particles. So my particles right now, when I look at this phone, they start forming around the phone. You know what I'm saying? Making out a picture, right? So I can literally, like, if this was a TV show and it was depicting on how the phone, interacts with our body, it's like it's a world. So I could put my hand through the phone. Like you could put your hand through the damn phone and it's a world back there. You know what I'm saying? That's literally how it works. So when we're interacting with this, we're using different parts. It's like we're walking around inside the phone using our brain. The same way we do when we go to sleep in a dream. That's why when I was a Buddhist at one point in time, where I was a bit of an atheist, it's certain things that you can take from these people that's teaching you stuff. It's just the principle of the teaching isn't, but the details of what he's saying. He said, when you're playing a video game, you're not in the game. You're the player. So I'm not in the phone. I'm right here. I'm just projecting the phone and using the phone, but I'm not going to be the phone. I'm not going to be like, I can't be without the phone. Like AI trying to make it. This is why they start by putting it in your hand and then they put it on your wrist This all got something to do with time cycle mechanics. They do it at certain periods of time. It's a reason there wasn't AI back in ancient Egypt. Look, y'all, it probably was. You know the saying, ain't nothing new under the sun, and it's true. Everything is just a reiteration, bro. Why do you think Greece looked like Egypt? You get what I'm saying? It's all reiterations. But it's like the uniqueness in the substance comes from the people that thinks about it, the people that looks at it. But when you got people like us that can look, that can, man, that's the same damn thing. This is why personally I don't like new age music. Like the music nowadays, it's the same thing. So you try to find something that's different, but it's still part of this reality. Like it's still new age. It's still here, but it's just not like the messages that they're presenting. You know what I'm saying? That the industry, mainstream industry is presenting. You know what I'm saying? But so when you try to imagine yourself in an actual AI reality like this one, try when you try, like you in there a bit. That will cause your consciousness particles to merge with that reality, slowly matching your frequency to that reality, which is how your consciousness is uploaded to the AI reality. So when using AI, it will be in direct relation to your inner world. Remember that, y'all. So use it to help manifest the reality that you want instead of imagining yourself in that AI reality. And that's how you will create, and that's how we can coexist with AI without allowing it to integrate with our society. I say use it to help. So once you end up getting the help that you need, then you discard of it. AI, objects, material, physical object thingies. We're not objects, okay? We're not an object. What we perceive is objectified reality. Ooh. That's real though. That's crazy. All right, but here's the diagram that I drew. But you see, it's four time. These are all time continuous. 4,426 year cycles. So I'm gonna put a little. You know how they put the little thing in the corner, identifying what it is. So yeah, there you go. The little squiggly lines are time continuous. The 2-4 at the top is the one leading to ascension. The 2 here are here for reincarnational purposes. Is when you pass through parallel Earths and all that kind of stuff. Right? So look, here we go. 6 time continua, like I just showed you, in a 25,556 year cycle. 4 time continua move toward our forward moving tracks, like I just showed you. One's pointing up, forward moving, expansion, ascension upward, right? And they call those partos. I'm not even calling it that. Okay, that's probably just their language, anchoring their language here on Earth, which is good, right? The 2 time continuum pass through parallel universes. So there's Earth 2 over there, or it's probably not even called it. That's just, I think looking at it that way kind of messes up the idea, because then it make us think we're like, because every other world matters just as much as ours. You know what I'm saying? We it's 444, y'all. We interact, and we're talking about the 4 time continuous cycles at the top. Let's go, and the parallel ones. But the parallel ones, like I said, they allow for reincarnation to occur, right? Or at least that's my knowledge. Okay, so remember, if I say that's my knowledge, because what I'm telling you here is, objective knowledge, but the parallel universes being that for reincarnational purposes, that's my knowledge. So don't take my word for that. Okay, take that with a grain of salt. All right. A planet's progression through one time continuum. What is that? Okay. So a planet's progression through one time continuum, which is 25,556 years, creates a 45-degree shift in angular rotations of particle spin. So now we're gonna draw that. Angular rotations of particle spin is what we all talking about, right? It's all about the particles in relation to each other. So I had looked up a picture of 360 degrees, like a circle, right? So you spin that around, and a 45-degree angle, I draw like a boom, and it's like an acute angle. It's like an acute angle. The angle closer to the point is a lot more acute, smaller or something like that. But yeah, so I draw it like that and draw an axis going through it and put the Merkaba around it because everything has counter-rotating Merkaba fields that allow for energy to flow in and out of it, right? And I draw the spiral of the Merkaba going, the top pointed triangle going up and the bottom pointed triangle basically going down like the parallel universe one to allow. So yeah, so this is how it will look. Not necessarily, but this is just a diagram so you can have an idea of what the energy is doing. So the top one, like they always say clockwise is 12 and 1 is to the right hand side, but that's a mirror reverse. That's false. It's 12 and 1 is to the left. Okay, because that is how you view the world. You view the world from here. Your left side is where it starts. Okay, so 12, 1. So you spin in the top triangle to the left. The bottom triangle you spin to the right. Right. And that's what allows for the flow of energy to go up and down the central body current, right? And in this case, the central body axis or the central particle axis is 45 degrees. So now that means you went up through 6 time continuous cycles, 4,426 times 6 to 26,556 on to the next harmonic universe, which is a 45 degree angular rotation, a particle spin, which is what I just showed you. And on to the next, right? And it's not gonna be like, oh, you stop and you see this particle spinning and now that means I'm there. It's natural. Like when you start moving different and you start treating yourself different, you literally are moving yourself into different time continuums. Or you say timelines, but these are small time continuous. So if you want to move to the future, you start treating yourself with respect. Simple as that. And from there, to treat yourself with respect, you got to have self-awareness because it's a lot of shit that people let slide. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I ain't saying somebody can say something to you on the street. Don't let that phase you. Keep going, But to you, if you're talking shit to yourself, then you say, bro, chill out, bro. Talk to yourself like you're talking to somebody else. If somebody talk shit to you, you say, chill out, bro. But not to, because it's not threatening. It's the person talking. But you talking to yourself like that is threatening. It's like you're fighting yourself. You get what I'm saying? Because that's an internal, like you bringing it up from source. That person is bringing it up from their own source. That's a different consciousness. So you don't worry about negative things on the outside. But you know what I'm saying? You know it's there. You know what situations to not put yourself in. This is not no rose-colored lens of spiritual talk I'm talking to y'all. This is like, hey, I'm in this motherfucking world, and I know if I need to look over my shoulders at all times, and I know if I need to just walk forward and enjoy. If I'm around 100 police officers, nigga, I'm enjoying all my time. But if I'm walking outside in the dark and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm on my way home and I'm in a part of the world that I know is bad and I'm doing this, I'm not in fear. I just know what's going on. Fear is like you don't know what's going on, so you already afraid. Fear is like being afraid to go do something. That's fear because you're afraid of it. But when you're doing it, you can do it afraid, but you're not afraid because you're doing it. That's the principle. The principle is you're doing it. So there is no fear no more. And if you move that way, you will still probably feel you will still probably feel in your side like, damn, bro, damn. But like I'm doing it though, so what does it matter? I'm doing it though, so it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like when you reach that flow state, meaning you're not just going with anything. You're not just like, oh, the world is the way it's supposed to be, la da da. Thing, meditate. No, we're not doing that shit. All that's doing is feeding the other system because you're not running the correct frequencies on the earth. Like the earth is like a human, bro. The earth requires a certain way to be loved, just like everybody else in the world do. The same way people be loving on the God of the Bible is the same way the earth need to love. Because we sacrifice earth in order to love the God of the Bible. And I think that's messed up. You get what I'm saying? And guess what? The first person to ever introduce us to a form of monotheistic religion, INCARNATE. You know what I'm saying? My boy. Where my guy at? INCARNATE, man. He was the one that introduced us to monotheistic religion. Oh, they're like, he like INCARNATE. That's a dog. His name Joey. Cutie pie. But yeah, see? This is the guy that introduced us to monotheistic. He introduced us to monotheism. All that stuff y'all talking about, one God only, the God of the Bible. Not y'all, just in general. The 2 billion people that worship the Bible, roughly, if that's the real number. This is the person that introduced y'all to that idea. But he was like, nah, don't sacrifice no chicken to go, because we don't need you to kill nothing. We don't need you to unalive something to gain our approval. You don't even need to gain our approval. Our goal is to give you DNA activation. Our goal is to reveal to you things that you knew was there, but you just decided to ignore. You get what I'm saying? So Akhenaten said, look at the sun, y'all. Not like look at it, but he said, worship the sun, y'all, because he couldn't take at that time. Worshiping was the principle, so he couldn't take that from everybody. But he can take the people that they worshiping though, but keep the same practice. You're still worshiping. You just not doing it the same way. He grew up with a Serious Egyptian father, so his dad was with the Amun-Snake priesthood, and they was unaliving children and unaliving chicken and unaliving. It stunk. What he was before the no, he was during the infiltration. He was here to stop the infiltration. He was here during the birthing of the Anu Melchizedek. That was 15. He came 200 years after the 1500 BC birthing of the Melchizedek cloister. We would have had it. We would have waited to birth them 2409 BC, but the Guardians had brought the sphere of Amenti down from the fourth dimension into the higher frequency bands of the third dimension. They didn't bring it close enough to Earth because they didn't want to cause the imploding and explosion of the Earth's grids, but they brought it close enough so they wouldn't have to worry about the natural dimensional blending periods, which would have been 2409 BC. But since they brought it down, now they was able to do it beforehand. No. The 2409 BC morphogenetic wave brought the sphere of Amenti in, and then they birthed it, the Melchizedek's. This was around, think about ancient Egypt and the Giza pyramid. It activated the pyramid, and races of beings started walking out of the pyramid around that time in ancient Egypt. I'm just trying my best to bring it down to Earth. He was in charge of ascending souls through the fourth. Yes. The Ark of the Covenant. Yep. The Ark of the Covenant was a passage to the sphere of Amenti. I think it was 5,000 years ago. I think so. Yeah. But I know it was 1349 BC or something like that, around 1300 BC, where he was ascending souls. But he went through a lot of turmoil because, like I said, he grew up in a conflicted household. His father was a priest and his mom was just a Anu Melchizedek lady, and he was here to help realign the Anu Melchizedeks. But at the same time, he was faced with the decision of being a pharaoh under the notion that he got to do the things that his father did in order to gain approval. But he was like, hell no, my name is Akhenaten now. I care about the sun. Y'all worshiping these beings that don't care about y'all. Yes, the Ur priesthood. I don't think he's part of that, but yeah, the Ur priesthood, I think they still over there on Tara. Yep, the Ur priest. It feels so good to see somebody else say that though. Like, other than Ashiana Dean, other than Heba and Matt, other than Christos Avatar, even though I don't watch it no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feel good, man, because it's here. It's the truth. Yeah, he was worshiping the sun because the sun was activating our DNA. That's what the Ankhs was. The Ankhs was in reference to the DNA. But let's go back to this real quick, so I won't. So because we can get into that too. I'm trying to figure out how to use these numbers that I got to bring down, like, and show us how it pinpoints to 2026, so we know exactly where we at on this ascension cycle. Because like they said here, the ascension cycle began. I put it back. I put it in a calculator, but it said 20. I put it right here. 2,218 years ago is when the last ascension cycle began. Because I had added then what did I do? I forgot. This book was written in 2002. It's 24 years since then. So I said 24 years. I think it's plus, y'all, right? Yeah, plus, because it's going up. The more, yeah. So listen, 400. Look, hear me out, B. Hear me out, gangy. Because we're finna get into it. Even though we are, but it's just so exciting. Okay, because I'm trying to. Where did I put the Oh yeah, let me just go to it on here. 17,000, where they explain the number. Then we're gonna scroll back up and make sure we align these dates so we can be like, okay, so this is where we at. Because I mean, the information that is being told right now is due to the particles in our environment interacting with the particles of the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, and we're anchoring it down here. That's why I had that picture of what it would probably look like if you enter into a two-dimensional body. I mean, a fourth-dimensional body. Right here. Something similar to this. Philadelphia experiment, all that Montauk. They're telling you why they did this stuff. They're not just, they're like, we already knew what happened during that time, but it just opened a wormhole. The Philadelphia experiment opened a wormhole, linking linking the planet to another place. Does neuromelanin play a role in activating the third eye? Melanin just got something to do with the race line. Like, I think it was who was the black skin ones? Let me see. I got it right here, but I'm trying to just use my brain real quick. Hold on. The Uniceti. I think it's the Uniceti. The Uniceti are the black skin races that was seeded here 25 million years ago. So white skin races was here around that time too. Red skin, brown skin, yellow skin. Red skin, brown skin, yellow skin, white skin, and black skin. All these 5 races were seeded here at once. 60 of us was seeded here. The first humans on planet Earth, physical, was 60 of us, equal standing. It was 5 tribes, 6 male, 6 female. Thank you, and oh my God, cloisters. Yes, the cloisters was the ones that seeded. Then what spontaneous combustion? I mean, what is it? What is spontaneous combustion linked to? Like the Big Bang? Because I think that's where I want to start. 560 million years ago. So that way we can start piecing it. So I start adding up 26,556 times how much to where to get 550 million years ago. And that shows that's how many particle rotations the Earth went through in order to get to Tara level. Yeah. People trying to force it open. Yeah, that's what CERN is. But spontaneous combustion, it sound like explosions and stuff, like, because Avatar: The Last Airbender, combustion man, stuff like that. Y'all got that, man. That was probably cool. Come on now, because when the last time we heard about Sparky Boom, man? We ain't heard about him in a long time. Let's see. Oh, spontaneous combustion refers to the unaliving from a fire originating without an apparent external source. I believe that fire. So what year was this? Is it it wasn't even a year. It just says it's something that happens. Oh, this idea and the term spontaneous were both first proposed in 1746, y'all. Hey, Sparky Boom, man. That joint was so fire. And then Pali came over and Korra. That joint was crazy work. But that shows that's 2 different incarnational identities. Or it probably was his daughter. I'm not going to go off into that. It probably was his daughter. You never know. Or somebody part of his family or something. But yeah, 1746. And oddly enough, y'all, look. That was around 1748 when the Zeta's frequency fence and genetic mutation from the future began affecting Earth in 1748. So just because it began affecting Earth in 1748, that doesn't mean it wasn't affecting people in 1746. Hear me out, y'all. Whenever I'm telling y'all points in history, don't think about just that point. Think about the process leading to that point. So there had to be tests of this frequency fence genetic mutation on humans to see how it will affect us, and it caused spontaneous combustion. That's crazy, right? In the same year, the Guardians had put up a frequency fence that would dismantle that frequency fence, and it was a fourth DNA strand frequency fence, and that plays a part in having a hard time recollecting, and it has a hard time recollecting memory. recollecting dream memory, dream state memory. That's what that frequency fence does. But learning self-awareness and learning how to build yourself and learning these techniques. It's Ashiana Dean telling y'all, don't listen to her stuff past 2010 though, or 2011. That's when she got body snatched. And you know what's crazy? I almost got body snatched before. So I know, bro, everything Ashiana was talking about, I know it's true. I almost got body snatched before. Being in the dream state all the time and just going crazy and just like when you become angry, it's like being possessed. Like it's and even when you're conscious of being angry, you still are allowing energy in. Like, this is what happened to my hand. Anger. I'm never a person that's like, I hit myself when I get mad or nothing like that. It was just like a instant repercussions. Like, soon as I did this, yeah, all me. And it's stuff like this that be like, okay, Rasan, no more having to go through all that extra stuff to get to where you want to go. This is what's going to unlock soul matrix memories. Change your reaction. Oh God, bro. You know, it's process of growing up, man. Like when you dealing with somebody that actually is healing from the past, it's not easy. It's not easy, bro. Like when you actually out here like trying to actually heal, you're gonna do what it takes. And sometimes reactions like that happen, and then and sometimes it help. Like it's like before I ever get angry again, I'm looking at my hand. All right, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes that's what it takes. You know what I'm saying? All right, so look, B, let's bugging out. Let's do it. So planet's progression through one time continuum, like I said, is 26,556 years, 45 degrees shift in angular rotation of particle spin. That's so, and see, like I said, they got all these different words. One octave is 4,426 years. No, that's just time continue up. Okay, that they call it an octave. There's so many names. Don't worry about that. Just find one name that works for you, and you stick with that. Even when you're reading the book, it's gonna be all these different names for the same thing. Yeah, and I honestly feel like that's a great way to reach out to people because some people don't even know how to say time continue up. Some people got to say octave. Some people got to say this. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's good. It gives you a wide scope of view. Yeah, equinoxes and solstices are distortions. Yeah, they are distortions of planetaries. It's the misalignment of the planetary axis. So the sun only shines on a certain part of the earth, and it's all uneven. So yeah, when the I think it was a pole tilt during the electric wars that realigned the Earth's axis to Alcyon. Come on, Amy. Hold on. It's facts. This is a 23.5 degree axis tilt that causes the misalignment of a lot of things. That's why you see the figure 8 of the sun in the sky when they be recording it. That's the misalignment of the axis. The sun and all other planets were originally aligned north, like pointing straight upward because that's the evolutionary process, upward, but not to the side. Now you're starting to tap into different portals and stuff around you. Right, so look, between dimensions, so if you go from the first dimension to the to the second dimension, which are past memories, and if you go from there to there, you're going to have a 90-degree shift in angular rotations and particle spin. Between harmonic universes is 45 degrees. Okay. So now let's go into the incarnational identities. Let's go back to this thing real quick. Because once I figured this out, this just made me think about relationships and everything differently, bro. Even though it doesn't pertain to relationships, but I'm in a situation where it's like, damn, it makes so much damn sense. Like whatever it is that you wholeheartedly want, like, and you don't stand down for it, you want it real bad, you'll fight for it. It's literally another incarnated version of you on this planet that wants the same thing. It may be your best friend, it may be somebody you can't stand, it may be somebody that you always come across and you always, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all see different people in different times, but we all come across people in different times. But it's like we all, I ain't gonna say all of us have people that we're personally connected to, because some people in this world, like this world, enable people to want to just be themselves. But we all have, not all of us, but some of us have those people that we're just connected to. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing that you can do to shake them off. And that's because incarnational identity, or sometimes you just made the wrong soul tie. You know what I'm saying? But when you start looking at the behavior patterns and damn, whew, it's crazy, man. It's fire too. That's the best part. It's so fire because you see it play out in person. So you guys just start looking at it in a different way. There's somebody out there that's just like you, but not in. It's like not in detail. I mean, principle wise, like they're looking for the same thing, but they just want to go about it a different way. You know what I'm saying? So I think, yeah. But what's the name? So reincarnate. So now we're gonna go into reincarnation. What exactly is reincarnation? We think it's just you come back, you die, you pass away, come back, pass away, come back. Reincarnational identities are portions of the soul awareness, the fourth dimension, simultaneously stationed and evolving in versions of the planet within each of the 6 time continuum of the 556 years. So the soul identity from Harmonic Universe 2 incarnates 12 Harmonic Universe 1 identities into each of the 12 time continua. So I put it right here. I said me is 12. So it's 2 of me, 1. Well, it's not me, but it's just a frequency connection. It's 12 of me, and then 12 of my twin flame, making 144 incarnational families of identities. When we come together, our incarnational identities are also locked in together too in different time continuums, right? So if I'm having a dream about something, it's going to be in relation to the energy between us now. It's not going to be about myself no more. And spending so much time by yourself and getting to yourself, damn, that's going to be something hard to let go of. Like just always being open and available. I don't give a fuck. That's how I'm going to be. Open and available. But yeah, so like I say, the Soul Harmonic Universe 2 identity incarnates 12 each in the 6 time continua. So try to think of it like it's 1 male and 1 female in this time continua. That's 2. I'll just put it like this so it can, because sometimes it's hard to put in my brain. So 2 now, 2 in the past, 2 in the past, because that's 2 cycles. So it's, remember the 2 cycles that's going to the parallel universes. So it's 1 of me and another version of me over there too, and it's 1 of me and another version of me over there too, in 2 different parallel universes. But they're still, it's like the frequency is just different. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it's 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 now, which is the anchor. 2 in the past, and then 2 in the future, 2 in the future, 2 in the future, and 2 in the future, which is us now. This is the key, okay? We want to be that number 2 now. That 2 now, you and your other incarnational identity, you don't got to come together, but just know they're there and know the energy is flowing between y'all. Whatever you're doing right now, they're doing something else in relation to it. If you up walking around, they might be laying down. You get what I'm saying? But the more and more y'all come together, one person will adopt the habits of the person that's, you know what I'm saying, more trustworthy of habits to be had. You know what I'm saying? More likely it's the man in this world, because we have that energy to where it's more projected. Or it just sometimes, because we come in with, men already come in here with the energy of like projection. You know what I'm saying? So, and women naturally come into this world with the energy of receiving. So, but now with the genetic mutations in play and all this stuff, it distorts everything, man. It throws everything off balance. So now people growing up wondering if they this, wondering if they that. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's a fragment of consciousness. Okay? So 12 immediate H1, the 12 immediate HU1 incarnates are sub-personality fragments of your own identity. Yeah, and let me tell you something. Y'all take my word for this. My experience with my girl is literally just like that. A sub-personality of me. Vice versa for her. And it makes it that way because it's like if you got 2 fragmented pieces of glass and you put them together, it's like they won't stay together. They together though, because they're still in the same space. But just from that perspective of the glass, right? They won't stay together. So that shows, in a sense, like when you come together with the person that you really wanted to be with, and you say, "I want to live life," da 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 da, and then they start not necessarily, they start asking you things, like asking you of things to do, like, "Hey, can you? I would like for you to approach me in this way, or this, that, the third." You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes y'all just aggravate each other. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it be. When it comes to really, when you really with somebody, when you allow that person to aggravate you, is what I'm saying. That's where the beauty is. When you allow the person to aggravate you, and y'all can freely just, you know, be yourself. It ain't about stop doing this and stop doing that. Because my goal is to allow you to be yourself, but in a process of working on yourself. So that way we both on the same path. You get what I'm saying? You're not just giving in to your bad habits. You do your bad habits. Like the way I move is I do my bad habits, but in my brain I know like this is not something that I'm finna keep doing. I've already tried fighting them. That brings up aggravation within me. Then I start treating people wrong because I gotta fight the idea of not wanting to do this. And then now I'm stressed out from fighting. And then now I gotta communicate. Now I gotta go to work. Now I gotta go do this. And then in my head the whole time I'm just thinking like, no, Versailles, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Just imagine a day like that where you just all day you fighting your habits all day. Think about it, y'all. Y'all try it yourself. Everything that you would naturally do, like if you would naturally go home and eat a lot of food, if you would naturally go home and just try to fight it and see how that plays out for you. For some, it might work though. You know what I'm saying? Some people got that willpower. You know what I'm saying? But for some people, it's like, damn, fuck, maybe I should just do it and get it over with type. That's how I am. And then over time, I just develop other reasons as to why not to do it. Like I say, all this stuff I'm talking about plays into plays into the flowering of human consciousness, like the expansion of human consciousness, because we're starting to develop ways on how to deal with things, not the normal way that society taught us. You know what I'm saying? We're doing it a different way now. Like I came up with this. How old was I when I said, you know what, I'm gonna just do it? When I was last year, bro. When I was 24, and I was like, you know what? I've been so damn spiritual my whole life. I haven't really been living like a regular human, or just I haven't been embracing what is actually here. Like, so my version of that was eating a lot, smoking a lot, corn. That was my version of it. You know what I'm saying? And then those habits show me what it is that I'm truly looking for as a whole. If I want to feel good, then what is it that I need to do to make myself feel good permanently? Right? And before I get to that, I gotta release these habits. But in the process of me releasing them habits, I'm thinking about it. So remember, y'all, it's not just the point, it's the process. Remember, it's not the destination, it's the journey. So same thing when they go to these historical events. It's not the event, it's the journey leading up to the event as well. So it's, like I said, 2 years before the Zeta frequency fence began to create exactly like we like literally like it's like you have to allow energy to flow. The idea of fighting is literally not allowing energy to flow. Literally. The idea of two people getting into an altercation shows what happens when energy doesn't flow freely. You get what I'm saying? It's just back and forth, back and forth. And then even when energy does flow freely, now it's flowing freely in a negative state. So now it's just gonna be chaos. But when you notice that in a beautiful environment where two people communicating, right? But on the inside, they're moving stuff around and making space for the person to talk. Even if they say something like outrageous, you just on the inside like, man, damn, I understand this. Wow, I understand. Because on the inside, you're doing invisible work. You know what I'm saying? Like you moving this space, you moving it out the way because you're like, damn, I felt that. Damn, that shit hurt my chest. Now you take your time and then you want to explain to them how it hurt your chest so they wouldn't do it again. Because then when I heard the lady was like, she was like, you're responsible for how you feel. I'm like, not necessarily. I think you're responsible how you react to how you feel. Because, for example, a person can come up to you and call you out your name. Not even a person. Somebody may be talking to you in a family. They know what not to say. They know not to say this to you because they know how it makes you feel, right? They say it anyway. That feeling come up on the inside. How you respond is on you now. That's on you. But the initial action is what sparked that response. So it's not necessarily you're responsible for how you feel. You're responsible for how you approach people. So your reaction is how you're approaching them, not the feeling. The feeling is just a reaction to how they approached you. So it's the approach, right? But if a person is talking to you in a calm voice and they're not being condescending, they're not talking to you upside down, left and right, they're not baby talking you like, you're okay, it's okay, I'm sorry, I did. No, they're not doing that. They're talking to you like a regular human, a person that cares about you, a person that wants to see you win, and they're telling you something that will probably make you upset, but they're not saying it in a way to where it's like, man, you fat, lose weight. No, they're like, sweetheart, you know I love you, right? Give me a kiss. You know, you do something that just spark you, like, give me a kiss real quick. And then you tell her in a beautiful way. So people are like, oh, it's not about, they're like tone police and this and that. No, it ain't about that. It's just about respect, bro. There's a million ways to say things on both ends of the spectrum, but you are the centerpiece to that. So you get the idea to want to say this. You the centerpiece. It's not just these two choices. It's your choice too. So you got this choice to say this, but you don't choose to say that. So you chose the third choice. You don't have to choose that. You chose this one. You're like, okay, I'm going to say it this way, but I'm still saying what I mean. This is what's going to help with process. Literally, that's activating the fifth chakra. Literally. And what they said, only 8% of the population. So let's see how many people on the earth, y'all. So we can be a part of that population. The 8% that's activating our 50 DNA strand. World pop. It's probably 8 billion now. Dang, 8.3 billion. So 8% of 8.3 billion. Why are you put 8.2? I want 8.3, B. That's 64. That's 664 million people. One person at a time is all it takes. Start working on how you talk to people, and start working on how you process information. So that way you would never misunderstand somebody. Even if you do misunderstand them, they know you tried to process it first. This is the perfect opportunity. And remember, it all starts with self-respect. When you start treating yourself, like literally, when I was impatient with myself, I was impatient with my girl. Literally. It's no way I'm impatient with myself, but I'm patient with her. It's not gonna work like that. Because I'm gonna be patient out of the idea of still rushing her. Like I'm still sitting there waiting though, but I'm making noises, I'm this and that, because I'm impatient on the inside. But if I'm patient here first, then I could look at her and be like, man, she just living her damn life, bro. And that right there will bring me to tears. Because it's like, damn, bro, that's amazing, bro. She walking on her own 2 feet. Her little feet. Even the idea of having to be separate. This is why I also became spiritual, because we're going to be part of the spiritual. We're literally going to be part of the energy. So there is no disconnection. So even if we are away from each other physically, we're still together energetically. Damn. But yeah, like I say, there are people out there that are literally the incarnation of you, but in a different form, a different way of moving. All right. So boom. Like I say, everything I went into planetary evolution, DNA, incarnate, all that. So let's So how many years did it take for 26,000 times 3,000? No, if I'm gonna put 5,000, because that might be. Damn, how much is that? 13 million. 2, 3. Nope. 132 million. Damn. So 5,000 time continuums is only 132 million years. So that was the process of when our human counterparts was seated in Gaia before we came to Earth 25 million years ago, which took 1,000 cycles. So basically, it took 4,000 cycles down in the past. So what was it? 20? Yeah. So it took 4,000 cycles, like when you fall in consciousness, you're shot back into the past in relation to that happening. So now we're basically Atlantis and Lemuria is basically a reenactment of Alania and Lumania and Tara. How many years? 10,000? 10,000 years? or 10,000 times. No, that's 265, 560 million. Damn, y'all. 20,000? Yeah, so that's 531 million years. That was in the process of when Earth fell. We fell 550 million years. So 20 million years later, the Earth was still learning. The Earth was still gathering particles in order to see life on there. In order to be able to see life. 30,000? No. So it might be 25,000 then. That would be crazy. No, 600 million years. 900,000. So 4,500. Wait, 25. 22. Almost there. 21. Yeah, so about 560 million years. So it took 21,000 time continuums to get to 557 million years or 560 million years, roughly. Damn, my goddamn hand, y'all. All right, so let's. I'm trying to piece this together because I want to mention some actual events so that way y'all can know I'm not lying to y'all. Like, so let's start from 25,000 years, 4,000 cycle, 4,000, and they said our started. Well, I put it up 2218. Right, so countdown to a Menti. Several events have occurred in the last 98 years of your evolution that could have drastically altered the course of your history. One such event took place in 1900, in the early 1900s, which was repeated again in 1982. During both of these periods, large asteroid masses came into alignment with Earth's orbit, and if they had not been destroyed or diverted in deep space by interdimensional guardian fleets before they entered the solar system, the conditions supportive of life on Earth would have been destroyed. Because you were so close to coming to 2017 AD. And the potential ascension holds numerous. These folks really came through, bro. Hold on. Since 840,000 years ago, when the Guardians created the Ark of the Covenant. Okay. So they go blue flame. 10-year time warp bloom period. The sphere dimension of the ascending arc into corner sphere 20-year period of the bursting frequency to Earth's grid. That's so cool. So when they seeded the Ark of the Covenant into Earth's grids, it took 12 years for the Ark of the Covenant to fully expand its energy in the Earth so it can allow for life to be seeded. And think a Menti is just a morphogenetic field. That's all. It's just a morphogenetic field of energy. Okay, hold on, y'all. Sorry for going quiet. I'm just trying to make sure we found an important point in history where we can start. Like maybe how y'all feel about Atlantis? I think we can start from Atlantis, or we can start from the seeding of life on Earth. Thank you, brother. Flash, Barry Allen, the lightning, ride the lightning. What he said: breathe, feel the ground beneath your feet. You are part of something greater now. Now, run, Barry, run. That's when he phased through the truck. Literally, just imagine yourself. You close your eyes and you just breathe. You're gonna start feeling yourself vibrate like Barry. You're gonna be like this. You're gonna feel it though. It's like subtle. It's like on the inside of your hand it's like doing this on the inside though. It's not like really doing that, but on the inside the particles are just shifted. They're ready to be shifted into a different particle pulsation rhythm. And he said the first wave will begin in 2012. Okay, let's see. Better at reading fast, so I can I want to learn how to fully understand. I want to learn how to fully understand something while reading it fast. So that way, I think that will really help with teaching too. Like
As we have mentioned, the first full wave of the Melchizedek's birthing cycle began in the third seeding about 35,000 years ago, the second wave about 3,500 years ago, and the last about 250 years ago, and continues today. During their first appearance, they created the priesthood of the Melchizedek on earth, a spiritual organization specializing in the process of ascension, which over time developed a strong elitist, schmexist, patriarchal slant due to the Atlantean and Syrian Anunnaki influence. About 32,000 years ago, some of the Melchizedeks joined forces with the matriarchal Taran priesthood of Mu, creating a more balanced Melchizedek priesthood, which more closely followed the teachings of equality promoted in the original Melchizedek priesthood. The balanced Melchizedek priesthood became known as the cloistered family of Melchizedek, for they carried with them the original sacred law of one teachings of the Melchizedek morphogenetic cloisters. And when I say law of one, don't think about the new age raw stuff. That's channeling. Don't do that. Talking about 7th density, 6th density planet, and they only keep you at the 7th density. Fallen angel talk, B. That's fallen angels, bro. It's 15 dimensions in the time matrix. All right, we are in the third one. We are on our way to the 4th, 5th, 6th. Okay. Dimension is the relation particles have within each other that allows for the projection of reality. Density is the form that we exist in relation to the reality that we're in. So the density that we're in is 1, which is in relation to the Earth, which has an accretion level. It has an accretion level of 2.5. So that way we have an accretion level of 3 to 3.5. So that way we exist within the low to mid frequencies of the 4th dimension, I think. So that's why we perceive the 3rd dimension the way it is, because we see the particles like we see the physical objects, but it's particles. So basically that means I should be able to just meld my hand through the desk, but I can't do that because that's not a rule in the 3rd dimension. That's not a rule. Like, you can't do that unless you have the technology or the DNA strand configuration. All right, hold on. I'm trying to figure out where to start at, y'all, so I can really piece this together and be like, okay. So 3.7 million years ago, the second seeding occurred. 3.7 million years minus 26,556. How does that sound, guys? Wait. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So what happened there? No, that's only 3 point. That's not. Damn, we had to still go through a many. So how many did we go through to get to the Ark of the Covenant then? Damn, because the Ark of the Covenant was created 840,000 years ago, and that was used as a portal passage to the sphere of Amenti, because the sphere had to be placed somewhere else because these fallen angels kept messing with stuff. But y'all ever heard? Yeah, y'all know the third eye horse, right? During the second seeding, this portal bridge. Let me see something. Hold on real quick, so I can make sure there was much better option than fragmentation, which would create individual sentient identity could be evolving. Okay, yeah. So they could return to the Paladorian morphogenetic field and wait there for the seeding of the 5th race, into which they would incarnate to assemble the remainder fourth of the strand. So this was much so like when you pass, you would ascend into another race line and await the next reincarnation cycle. It's not boring there though. You're going to be chilling. You're going to be conversing with people because you're on the path to evolving. You're not on the path to falling. So when you're on the path to evolving, you will go to worlds where you wait it out. It's like a waiting room. Like you walk into a doctor's office and you wait in there for the next person to call your name. That's literally what it's like. But it's not like you're just sitting there reading magazines. You literally up there learning energy work, learning how to do this, learning how to do that, and then you come back and reassemble DNA strands. I think that's what I did when I came here. I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm part of the Melchizedek race. Because my fifth DNA strand definitely is activated. But individual sentient identity could be retained through evolving through Sirius B, right? During the second seeding, this portal bridge became known as the Hall of Amareya. In the third seeding, during the Atlantean times, during the times of Atlantis and the Egyptian pharaonic rule, it became known as the third eye of Horus and represented the culmination of the left eye of Horus and the right eye of Horus mystical teaching. The third eye of Horus was a closely guarded secret, and passage through this dimensional bridge was reserved for the few elite races who carried the needed third strand genetic imprint. I got a question for y'all. Why do y'all think it was called the third? Why do y'all think the portal bridge was called the Eye of Horus? What do y'all think? I know the answer. What do y'all think? Why do y'all think it was called the third eye of Horus? And why is it associated with Sirius B? It's not astral travel because that's the fourth dimension. Can I give you a hint? Damn, I don't want to give you no hint. How can I put this? No, because y'all gonna look it up and it'll be right there. Why do y'all think the Eye of Horus is associated with Sirius B? Not that. That's the principle of it, though. We all can travel more dimensions, but why is it that it's linked to Sirius B? Give y'all one more try. But it's okay because I'm in rare form. You gotta step out if you want to be something like your granddaddy. All right, the reason it's associated with the Eye of Horus is because it's the sixth dimension. If you look at a picture of the Eye of Horus and you align it with the brain, it's the pineal gland. Right, the sagittal plane view of the brain, it's the pineal gland. That's what the Eye of Horus is. So they get ascension teachings on how to activate their third eye, so they can access the Sirius B. Sirius B is the sixth stargate on the 12-dimensional plane. I mean, on the 12 tree grid or the Earth's Templar. Let me see if I can find one so y'all can have an idea. This right here, please. Okay. It's backwards because this represents the body. Like I try to put it as the body, but the left side is 4, 7. It's the what's number 4? Damn it, I forgot. But you see 6 is in the right hand corner right there, right above the yellow one. That's the Ark of the Covenant. I mean that's the Sirius B, and it was called Third Eye of Horus. Here's the auric field and all. All right, so. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I might have to take time out to really figure out how to align all this stuff up because I'm trying to figure out a perfect spot. So I'm not gonna try too hard right here. But I'm gonna ask y'all got anything y'all want me to talk about? Like, what y'all want to talk about though? Like, I can talk about what I want to talk about, but what y'all want me to go into? I'll do it for, like, tell me like what y'all been having interest in studying and stuff like that. Like. You gotta step harder if you wanna be something like your granddaddy. Damn, man, it's just so much sadness surrounding my mom, bro. God damn. My heart. So yeah, y'all. Higher frequency, future memory. Lower frequency, past memory. Or I'm gonna say future envisioning for the higher frequency. So if you ever having a dream and it's in the past, you're operating in a low frequency. It's not a bad thing. The word bad is not even in my vocabulary, unless it's depending on how it affects the world. Okay, if what I'm saying, I don't know. The word bad and good is just crazy work though. I don't know why they integrated these words. Of course, to distort the understanding of going with the flow of evolution and going against it. It's just repercussions for your actions. That's all it is. That's what the word bad is. Repercussions. Mistakes, lessons. Yeah, that's what bad is. Okay, that's what sin is in the Bible. But good is just stuff that make you feel good. Like go ahead, even if it's bad, even if it's something that goes against the. Nah, that's not how it works, yo. Good is when you going with the flow. It's the like they just consolidated what it means. They consolidated consequences to the word bad, right? But good is just going with the flow of evolution. That's what that is. And you'll know you're going with the flow of evolution when you look about. How would you know? You gotta. I don't know. Maybe you gotta know yourself. I don't think that's a blanket thing that I can do. Like you will know you're going with the flow of evolution when this, that, the third. I don't know. You know, you gotta make that judgment yourself. I can't give you all the answers. That's where these motherfucking teachers, spiritual teachers and stuff, be losing me. They try to give you an answer for damn near everything. Oh, I think they're cleaning out there. Too damn cold. Y'all just like hearing me talk, don't y'all? Yeah. Talk about the world, talk about everything. Oh yeah, this is on fire. So look, the first seeding, the third world in Native American culture. So these races were seeded out of, just like Amy said, the cloister races. 25 million years ago. Or is it down there? Let me see. Oh yeah, okay. So let me see if I can. Okay, so the halls of Amenti. The halls of Amenti are portal bridges that lead to the hall, or that portal bridges that you walk. Like when you enter into the sphere of Amenti, you're exiting throughout the halls, or you enter into the sphere of Amenti when you're incarnating. You're exiting throughout the halls, and you're exiting throughout a specific race line, right? So it was the Terranates that became the sphere of Amenti. They became the morphogenetic field that now plays a part in our ascension. So think about beings that transmute their energy into transmute their body into pure energy. It's Keylontic science. So from the sphere of Amenti, 5 smaller spheres were created. God damn it! I just feel like the races of the sphere of Amenti finally began to appear on Earth. I just want to see if I can give you a good understanding of what the sphere of Amenti is first. The sphere of Amenti morphogenetic field allowed for the Terranates to enter incarnational cycles on Earth to pick up the fragments of the consciousness from the lost souls by pulling their energetic particles from HU1 fields into the DNA, merging the consciousness of the soul fragments with the embodied Terranate consciousness, thereby allowing the composite identity to evolve through a sentient life form back to its original soul matrix. So basically, we're all incarnates of the Terranates, because they were the ones that allowed for us to enter into this system, right? So right now we're assembling DNA, right? And I honestly think y'all let me know if I'm wrong, but I think this make this process a lot more like, oh my God, the rapture is coming. Oh my God, the rapture. Oh my God, this. Like, I don't even look at it like that no more. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just like it's an everyday thing. Like, you just, like, one day you may just come across crazy information. That's a sign of ascension. There you go. There you go. There you go, y'all. There you go. They're yawning. I ain't even sleepy. You see me? I ain't even tired. All right, so where it's at? So the races of the sphere of Amenti finally began. Let me say this too. Though the sphere of Amenti was set within Earth's morphogenetic field nearly 550 million years ago after the Big Bang. This is when, after the Big Bang, after portions of Tara fell, they began to explode, and that caused for Earth to get pulled into a local sun in that star system, which is ours. The sun is a black hole. It got pulled into it, and then we was reseated on this or we was re-emerged. I'm gonna say this, sorry. We emerged into this universe as gaseous substance and then began to accrete the particles within our environment, natural accretion. And then now we're a fragment of Tara. So now each planet on this solar system has a portion of Tara at its core, right? I'm not sure if we do right now because of what's going on. They got to take another route, but yeah, each planet has the each planet has the mission to re-evolve. All right. So the evolutionary plan was not immediately set in motion. Though the sphere of Amenity was set within Earth's morphogenetic field nearly 550 million years ago, the Earth grid had not evolved to pick up the grid speed before the sphere of Amenity could begin birthing new races. So between 250 million years and 550 million years, various other species seeded by HU1 ET visitors, Harmonic Universe 1 ET visitors, evolved on Earth, some of whom became members of your plant, animal, and insect kingdoms. Various groups of etheric beings without matter density also spent time on your planet. Trying to that yawn. The races of the sphere of Amenity finally began to appear on Earth about 250 million years ago. Right? Before their appearance, more intergalactic wars were fought by races who did not want the covenant of Palador to be fulfilled. These wars were primarily fought on Tara, becoming part of long history confrontation termed the Taran Wars. All right. So once Earth territory was secured by the Earth-Terranates of the sphere of Amenity, began birthing on Earth. This began to be known as Tarnusium II. This represented the seeding of the 12 tribes, out of which your present human lineage emerged. So when they talk about 12 tribes of Israel, 12 tribes of this race, it's false. It's half truth. 12 tribes is true, y'all. But we're not talking about the 12 tribes of Israel or the 12 tribes of this, that. We're talking about the 12 tribes of the human lineage, all of us together. Okay? So, the Halls of Amenity, the cloister races of parallel Earth, second world rescue mission stage 1. Oh, God. Whew. So, now that the sphere of Amenity was in the Earth, 5 smaller spheres were created, which became the morphogenetic patterns for the 5 races known as the cloister races. Collectively, the cloister races were called the Paladorians, as they represented the beginning of the fulfillment of the covenant of Palador. Sorry about that. They represented the earthly counterparts to the larger Paladorian group from HU2 of the original T1 strand, 12-strand DNA package. Each Paladorian race held a morphogenetic imprint for 7. They held the morphogenetic imprint for the 7 through 12, which held the electrotonal frequencies corresponding to dimensions 7 to 12, obvious. Plus the imprint for strand 1, which is the embodied imprint. That's the imprint that we use to embody into human form. And each of the 5 groups carried the imprint for 1 additional DNA strand, corresponding to dimensions 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The cloistered races served as guardians for the evolution of the additional DNA strands, right? So, which they were assigned to. Each race had 8 strands of DNA manifest within the body structure. So within the body, they already had 8 DNA strands. The 5 cloister races did not possess gender, nor did they originally possess the degree of matter density which you are familiar with, right? So like I say, they still held form, but it wasn't physical form. It was just a form at which they was able to house the frequencies, so the frequencies can move throughout time. Density of form developed over time throughout the course of their evolution on Earth, 25 million years ago. The 5 cloister races were, hear me out, y'all. The Urantrians were brown skin, strand number 2. The Brenoa were, remember, they all hold the imprint for strand 1, so they already coming in with physical form. Oh no, my fault. These are the cloister races. So they're all going to hold the first strand imprint when they come 25 million years later, or 225 million years later, I think. Remember, the book is out there, Voyages 2 Secrets of Amenity, right? Because I be trying to add the numbers up mentally and stuff. That's a lot of work. This period became known as the Great Civilization, the second world known to Native Americans. The Erantrians were brown skin. They held strand number 2. The Brennewa were red skin. They held strand number 3. The Hibaru were YT skin. They held for strand number 4. Remember, the Hibaru, they was the ones over there in Mesopotamia. The Melchizedeks, they held the strand for yellow skin strand number 5. The Uniseti, black skin strand number 6. Right? So, the first and second etheric root races of Gaia, rescue mission stage 2, 25 million years ago to 20 million years ago. Before manifestation into embodiment of your Earth, the 5 cloister races divided into 2 groups. So 5 cloister races, they divided into 2 groups. So you got 1, now it's 2 of them. 2, now it's 2. 3, right? 3, you know what I mean, though. Each race is 2. Now they're separated. So before manifestation into embodiment, they divided into 2 groups. One group held the DNA imprint for half of the strand. My God. One group held the DNA imprint for half of the first strand of DNA. So one strand of the first base tone, the imprint, they cut that in half, 0.5. Right? This created a polarization in gender within the cloister race morphogenetic field. Both groups held dimensional codes 7 through 12. These 2 groups were seated on Gaia, right? And the 7th dimensional HU3 counterpart to Tara. So they split their DNA while there was in Gaia so they can seed into Earth as 2 different races, so they can begin the process of assembling portions of the DNA that was portions of Tara, which are DNA strands, which play a part in DNA strands, reassembling it. These 2 groups were seated on Gaia, the 7th dimensional HU3 counterpart to Tara and Earth. These 2 races were the first 2 root races, the Polarians of Gaia. I heard of the Polarians before, and the Hyperboreans of Gaia, antiparticle double. These beings were of a much less dense or etheric nature, but through their evolution on Gaia, 25 million to 20 million, the pathways of evolution through dimensional ascension were reopened for the lost soul of Tara. So through their evolution, the 1 strand of the 12-strand DNA package was pulled together in Earth particles and connected to the Tarnusian morphogenetic field. So I'm going to read this and then I'm going to end the live right there, right? Because I want to give y'all understanding. It was not who was the first man, who was the first human on Earth. So, Halls of Amenti, rescue mission stage 3, 25 million years ago. The morphogenetic consciousness of the 5 cloister races held within the sphere of Amenti began the 3rd seeding of humans. On Earth, 25 million years ago, they opened the sphere of Amenti within the Earth's core in Dimension 2, which opened a portal bridge to Tara's core in Dimension 5. So, I'm going to say like this, Dimension 1 connects to Dimension 4, Dimension 2 connects to Dimension 5, Dimension 3 connects to Dimension 6, and so forth. So the lower frequency bands connect to each other. Dimension 4 connects to Dimension 7, Dimension 5 connects to Dimension 8, and Dimension 6 connects to Dimension 9. So remember, it's in threes. It's in threes, y'all. So, a portal that link. So, which opened a portal bridge to Tara's core in Dimension 5. Whew, man. All right, let's go. Okay, and this was a portal that linked to the Earth of 25 million years ago with the pre-cataclysmic Tara of 550 million years ago. So they linked it with pre-cataclysmic Tara so they can bring portions of that energy into Earth for assembly. Working with the priesthoods of Earth and Mu on Tara, the consciousness of the 5 cloister races created 5 other portal bridges, extensions from the center of the sphere of Amenti, each of the 5 opening to dimensions to dimension fields 2 through 6. Dimensional fields represents. Okay, here we go, y'all. This is what dimensional fields represents. Dimensional fields represents positions in space and time. So so think about it like right now. The dimensional field that we're in right now is the 3rd dimension. Right? These dimensional fields represents positions in space and time within the time matrix, stages a planet or being will pass through in its evolutionary progression. of dimensional ascension. That's what the dimensional field is, right? The 6 portals from the sphere of Amenti, the original one to Tara, Tara's past, and the 5 new ones into various stages. That is so freaking smart, y'all. Do y'all hear what they saying? The original portal, the sphere of Amenti portal is linked to Tara before it fell, right? Pre-cataclysmic Tara. And then they open 5 new portal bridges to the future. So that way the people from the past that's coming into these portals, they are on the evolutionary path, not the devolutionary path. It'll be different if they open the sphere of Amenti to the future and then they have portal bridges leading into the past. That's not how it's supposed to work. It's the other way around. The past is the center, so that way we taking energy from there and bringing it to the future and bringing it to the light. See how I could bring it down to earth. They're just taking trauma and bringing it here and relearning it. We healing from it. Literally, this is the process of healing. So next time you come into an environment where it's hostility in your heart, and it take you to the past, like or somebody close to you may say something that take you back to the past. It's okay to lash out. I ain't gonna tell you not to, because I'm not gonna encourage you to. But I'm just letting you know it's okay because I understand. But at the same time, when you got time to sit down for yourself, you need to start practicing on how to take deep breaths and be like, okay. Even turning it on them. If a person close to you, like your spouse, say something to you that took you to the past, and they know they shouldn't have said it, you like, and you making them look at you like, damn it, I shouldn't have made them feel like this. Right. Because at the end of the day, we are the ones passing judgment. It's not no God in the sky. It's us. So if a person make you feel some kind of way, you want to show them that it make you feel that way. Right. So we're the ones passing that judgment. Like, hey, look, don't be doing that shit. All right. We ain't with none of that. You ain't got to say it like that. But I'm just saying, you find a way to say it to where it's respectful, but you still got your point across sternly. All right. This is stuff that our fathers and stuff should have taught us. But we got to go on our path to learn ourselves. And this is part of the process of healing from the past, all of the past. All right. So, I'm going to reread that. The 6 portals from the sphere of Amenti, the original one to Tara's past, and the 5 new ones into various stages of Earth's future, link Tara's past through various time periods on Earth into Tara's futures, because Earth is going to evolve into Tara. So they're basically taking us back in the past and leading us back into the future. Through various time periods on Earth into Tara's future, creating a new time track through which Earth could re-evolve into the 5th dimensional frequency bands and merge with Tara. Once this merger was accomplished, Earth would become Tara, new lands will open up within and emerge upon Earth, and Tara will reclaim the energetic thrust lost in the fall of. So evolution into the 7th dimension of Gaia will continue, right? So here we go. The 6 portals within the sphere of Amenti also allowed the 5 cloister races to incarnate into dimensional band / time fields through 2 through 6. I'm sorry, I'll reread that. The 6 portals in the sphere of Amenti also allowed the 5 cloister races to incarnate into dimensional bands / time fields 2 through 6, pulling into their consciousness, body, and forms the fragmented consciousness of the lost souls from each of those dimensional bands. So remember, the sphere itself is the Erteridates. The 5 portals are the Urantrians. Let's see if we can remember. The 5 portals are the Urantrians. Damn it, I'm gonna have to go look back up there. Wait a second. The Urantrians, what skin are they? What's skin tone? Red skin is the Brenois. Damn, y'all, hold on. This is the process of studying. Urantrians, I'm gonna just say the names. Urantrians, Brenois, Uniceti. I'm gonna just say it in another order because I can't remember it. I'm gonna just read it. I'm sorry. I don't want to mislead y'all. The Urantrians are one of the portals. Brown skin, they hold strand 2. The Brenois are the red skin, they hold strand 3. The Hebrew are the YT skin, they hold strand 4. The Melchizedeks are the yellow skin strand, they hold strand 5. And the Uniceti are the black skin strand, they hold strand 6. So these are the 5 portals race lines, morphogenetic fields that extend out of the sphere of immenity, which is in the center of the earth. So these races literally it's going to show you. Watch. So pulling into the time codes, frequency patterns from the first dimensional strand of the DNA had been built through root races 1 and 2 would link into the frequencies of 2 through 6. This sounds like, it sounds like just straightforward stuff, doesn't it? Like, you got strand 1 and it helps build into strand 2 through 6. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, it's just like, come on now. So the consciousness within the sphere of immensity would leave the morphogenetic field and express into manifestation as root races within each of those dimensional bands, building up into the DNA pattern strands 2 through 6. Through this pattern of building DNA through time, incarnates within each time period dimensional band will be able to pull together the frequencies of their dimensional strand through a series of 24 incarnations, 212 cycles. Remember what I said, incarnational cycles, right? And like I say, we have the help now because we also have an incarnate of ourselves here on Earth too that's going to help accelerate this process. So the aggravation that person brings up to you, the annoyance, it's the big. You gotta look at the bigger picture. And I'm telling you, that bigger picture is going to tie into everything. You're going to end up loving a person, not just because of the ascension, just because you realize ascension requires love. But it's like it's part of life. It's not like I'm with this person for money type thing. That's not what it worked. That's not how ascension works, because you can't separate ascension and life. Ascension is life. It's always been part of life. Money has not always been part of life. So you can get with somebody for money and still not love them. But when you get with somebody for ascension processes and you get there with the right mindset, you will love that person. But if you go to the person for money and you go there with the right mindset, there's going to be a limit. Because when they can't give you money, but when you realize you get with somebody because you want to ascend, even when they acting negative or they tripping, it's part of the process because y'all together and y'all are part of the same incarnational identity. Remember, they're only a sub fragment of you, and vice versa. You're a sub fragment of them. That sounds so fucking beautiful, yo. Like, and there's no way I can disrespect and treat this girl with any more type of bullshit. Because I know now. I didn't know this before. And it's like, this is why I say, because like I never did anything out of spite. It was never like, man, I can't stand this nigga, I'm gonna just do this. No, it's like I'm healing from my trauma. And it's not enough comfort sometimes with her, so it kind of hurt my heart. But then now I just realized, no, bro, it's not about her comforting me. It's just about me being able to show up enough to show her why she should comfort me. You get what I'm saying? So it's not about comfort me. No, I just present to you, I'm a good man. I'm here to provide for you. I'm here to love and care for you. And that's going to enable her to want to just, and I'm going to still keep doing the same thing that I was doing before, working extra hard. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that how it works, Tammy? And you a woman, right? So that's how it works. And it ain't about telling a woman, no, stop doing this and do that. No, you got to show her. You got to be an example. And vice versa, you got to be an example for me. You got to give me a reason why I should pour into you. You know what I'm saying? So that way we both can be balanced. You know what I'm saying? That way it's not a chaotic yin and yang. It's that symbol that I showed you. It's the flower ring of love. Y'all both start from the center, learning like this is what we want, and then y'all expand out. Y'all don't just be like, that's good, that's bad. I like this one, so that's good. I don't like that one, so that's bad. That's yin and yang. A yin and yang relationship cannot work. It can. I ain't gonna say that, but just not in the evolutionary cycle, like the path that we talking about. It can't work because it will only get you to a certain point. You just start bouncing back and forth, and that's literally what we was doing, back and forth. It was never no center point. Even though I was trying to get to the center point and I had the right mindset, I didn't have the right behavior patterns, and that's what I'm rebuilding now, my behavior patterns. So that way, not even a thought can move me because my habits already got me in order. You get me, young? You get me? You get me? It's real, you feel me? It's real out here, you feel me? So boom. Like I say, through 212 incarnational cycles. Link with the morphogenetic field of their cloistered race, pick up strands 7 through 12 from the cloister, pass through the other cloisters, Erantrians, Brenna. We got to pass through. If you come through the Erantrian cloister and you ascend through that one, then you got to go through the Brenna. Then you got to go, because you're assembling each DNA strand, right? Pass through the other cloister, pick up the remaining root race strand, rebundle the 12 DNA strand package. As the 12 DNA strands were assembled, the body form of the incarnate would progressively transmute into a less dense state and ascend to HU2 Tara. Originally, only one Earth body was needed for this process, as the form would assemble the DNA patterns within 2 cycles of one very long lifetime and then transmute and ascend. Think about how that would be like. You living in one very long lifetime. And you going through the processes like a regular person would. You need at that time. I'm gonna say at this time you didn't have to go to sleep or nothing either. So that's why I was like that, because the DNA, like the Earth, wasn't it wasn't directly distorted. It was only a portion of Tara at this point. But then once war started happening and all this, consciousness fragmentation, false teachings being spread around and all this stuff, that's when we had to start. Like our DNA had to make up for all the fragments, and now we gotta go to sleep to reassemble DNA now. So now we can't stay up all night. That's why you think when you get on shrooms, it's hard to go to sleep, because shrooms reveal to you the makeup of reality. It reveals to you the particles in relation to each other. So when you close your eyes, it's like you're sinking into the bed, because your body because we're literally existing in energy. So that sinking is you in energy. It's like being in water and you just floating. Literally, that's what it's like. So shrooms is going to open up those portions of your brain to reveal to you like what you're not seeing. Even when you turn the lights off and all you see is like these particles moving around in the dark. It's like you're moving through some type of substance. And that substance that you're moving through is inside of you too. That's what we're trying to access, so we can learn how to access other dimensions and planes. Right? So the ascension occurred through the portal of the sphere of Amenti, to which the incarnate's dimensional band / time period was connected. Once passing through its dimension portal into the sphere of Amenti, the incarnate could enter into one of the other portal bridges and appear on Tara in a future space-time coordinate, becoming free of HU2. Through this process, the consciousness of Tara fragmented parts would be returned to Tara's planetary grid piece by piece, progressively de-densifying the matter particles of Earth and transmuting them back into Tara's grid. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I'm basically repeating myself. All they're saying is, oh, you come here on Earth, you incarnate for a period of time, and you reassemble. You go back to the sphere of Amenti. You come back. You go back to the sphere of Amenti. You enter into Tara, and now you reassemble DNA. But after you go through all the race lines, but that's all they're saying. That's all we're saying. I seen something over there. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't the kind of person to be like, oh, I ain't seen it. I just know I seen it. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't. Yeah. But yeah, just like you said, though the dynamics of this process are complicated, the principle is simple. Here's the principle. The portals within the sphere of Amenti served as a time portal structure through which the lost substance / energetic thrust of Tara could be returned, and the lost souls of Tara returned to their original identities as soul incarnated on Tara. So all they did was reconstruct the portal bridge to realign energy, so that way we can pass through a stable portal. That's it, y'all. And like I said, particles in relation to each other that allow for these things to happen. They know the Guardians know the mechanics of these particles. Let me show you some of the Guardians, so y'all can have an idea of who if y'all want to communicate to any being that you're not used to communicating to. Because, like I say, I've used these Guardians, not used them, but I've communicated with these Guardians when I was confused in times in life, like when I thought I was gonna get fired from my job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be like, am I gonna get fired, bro? Is he gonna show up to work and fire me? They was like, nah. It was them in the bottom right hand corner, the Ron Thunkiana. They was like, nah. And I kept asking, and I never got fired. And the answer was always no. I'm like, yes. You know what I'm saying? So they real. They actually help out. You just gotta know how to listen out and feel. When you learn how your energetic field feels, you will know when something different hits you. You will know. There's no question about it. All right. But yeah, what they're saying here, when the races were seated on Earth, they were seated in equal standing. They were all adults, male and female, and there was 12 of them, two from each tribe. and the cloister races. Hold on, because I want to make sure I'm spreading the correct information. Because that's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to show y'all, like, when they say, oh, they were seeded into existence, equal standing. Hold on. Blue flame staff of a mundane. Okay, here we go. It says the forming of the 5 physical root races. I'm gonna skip right to it. Okay. Sphere 5 cloister races, morphogenetic sphere polarized, splitting the energy field. So yeah, they split down. So they split the energy. So the five sphere, the 5 halls of Amenti, they were split down in 2 again. So that created 10. That created 10 portals. I mean 10 new spheres. And then collectively held the blueprint for DNA strands 1 through 12. Right. So each of the 5 cloister races were responsible for the evolution of 1 pair of these new morphogenetic fields. So let's see where it's at. Overtone. Remanifest. Where it's at. Where it's at. Yeah. Whoa. Subrays. I don't know why they're not showing it. I read it 100 times. They see it was equal standing. There was adult male and female. Each root race, boom, 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 break down 7 sub races, yes. Vitally formed soul fragments. Incarnate, its final phase. Oh, here we go. Why did they say that? Okay, well, it's the first seeding of the third world now. Here we go. So the pattern for the evolution of the 5 remaining root races was set in motion 25 million years ago. And the first wave of souls moving out of the Palindorian morphogenetic field into physical incarnation. When I say the first man, I'm meaning physical, like us, our skin tone, our matter-dense bodies. The 5 cloister races were entered into Earth in various geographical regions, locations on Earth. Through budding, fission, and replication, the 5 cloister races each manifest 6 male, 6 female beings on Earth, and the same number on parallel and antiparticle. Okay. So in the first wave of physical creation on Earth, 60 human beings were manifested. 5 times 12. 5 cloister races, 12. They split it down: 6 male, 6 female. It's the 5 cloister races, but in physical form. So they enter Earth together with equal standing, seeding the brown Urantrian, red Brenoa, Wati Hibaru, yellow Melchizedek, and black Uniseti races. Earth population is built up through this lineage. Interesting, right? So I want to go to where Egypt and stuff came into play, so that way y'all know the way they told y'all in the history books is not how it worked. Then we're gonna end it right there, even though I said this already, because I just love this information. 72,000 years ago, B. Oh, BC. Where is it? Come on now. I look this up all the time. Like, don't be acting slow. I'm gonna act slow all of a sudden. All right, here we go. So, here we go. So what we just spoke on was the first seeding. I'm just skip to the third seeding, okay? Just so y'all can have an idea on when Egypt and stuff came about and all this stuff. So the Ark of the Covenant was created 840,000 years ago as a portal bridge to stabilize the passage back to the sphere of Amenti, right? So 40,000 years later, about 800,000 years ago, several groups of the now extraterrestrial humans returned to Earth and began preparation for the third seeding. This was after the war, all right, which would be orchestrated through the Ark of the Covenant portal bridge. 2 primary groups returning to humans, descendants of the Ceres Egyptian and the Hebrew Melchizedek Hebrew hybrids. Melchizedek Hebrew hybrids. Hebrew, sorry. from the second seeding were commissioned by the Paladorians of HU2, the Elohim, and the Ra Confederacy to orchestrate the third seeding. Upon returning to Earth, these groups discovered that there were small groups of survivors remaining from the second seeding, descendants of the Lemanians and their Erantrian cloisters. The Ceres Egyptians, who had been exiled on Sirius B in Pleiadian star system, and thus now carry a stronger ET imprint within their genetic code, they interbred with the Lumanians and Erantrians, forming a new guardian race through the incarnating souls via Melchizedek cloister morphogenetic field, via the Ark of the Covenant. The new race was called the Urtites. They appeared on Earth about 800,000 years ago, and working with races of the inner Earth and the HU2 Paladorians, the Urtites established the priesthood of on Earth. The Urtites lived primarily underground within the inner Earth civilizations, serving as guardians of the Ark of the Covenant. When conditions on Earth were conducive to supporting mass surface life, the Urtites were given authority by the HU2 Syrian Council, Ra Confederacy, and Priests of on Tara to begin third seeding of human lineage. Alrighty, here we go to the numbers. Many sub-races and families emerged through the Ur-type genetic strand. Each of the 5 cloistered races birthed their race line through the Ur-type host race, right? So these races were located throughout various regions of the globe, each developing surface culture from about 750,000 to 75,000. The Ur-type lineage developed, here we go, y'all. We didn't talk about, we all came from Africa and this and that. The Ur-type lineage developed divergent cultures extending from what is now known as Africa. So the idea that we came from Africa only is because the Ur-type lineage started seeding life in Africa, because that's where the Ark of the Covenant was most stable at. That's where the portal bridge was. So it's not like we were seated on the landmass of Africa. Some of us were seated under Africa, where the portal bridge is, where the Earth's grids were stabilized, on that area. Then we spread out and started walking around. We didn't just grow up in Africa and then left. Some of us was seated underground, and we was directed by them to walk through the underground tunnels to reach the landmass that suits our frequency, right? So through regions of East Asia, from what is now known as Africa, through regions of East Asia, North and South America, Central Europe, Egypt, into what is now called Iran. Through the development of these diversified cultures, the host race Urtites created a new cradle of civilization through which the root races and cloister races could be reseeded on Earth. The third seeding of races 3, 4, and 5 began via the Ark of the under the direction and through the lineages of the Urtites. Here we go. The third race, Erantrian cloister, began birthing about 75,000 years ago. Their Lemanian root race, 73,000 years ago. The Lemanians of the third seeding were called the Lemurians. So the Lemurians came here 73,000 years ago, y'all. And they were seated on the landmass that existed in the area now occupied by parts of the Pacific Ocean and also within the region of the Andes Mountains. The Brennenwood Cloister, the fourth race, entered about 72,000 years ago, and lands that existed in the area now occupied by parts of the Atlantic Ocean and into the territory that became known as Egypt, followed by their root race Atlanteans 70,000 years ago. The Atlanteans of the third seeding became known as the Atlanteans. I'm going to say the Alanians became known as the Atlanteans. The fifth cloister race, the Hibiru, entered through the host matrix of the sixth Melchizedek cloister into various positions throughout the globe about 68,000 years ago, followed by their root race Aryans 65,000 years ago. The fifth root race Aryans of the third seeding were called the Aryans. Concentrations of this race were seeded into regions of what is now the Black Sea and an area of what became the Carpathian Mountains. The Anu Melchizedeks, this is Akhenaten's race line, were seeded into the Atlantean root race Egyptian sub-race through the Melchizedek cloister host matrix morphogenetic field about 68,000 years ago. The Anu prospered in Atlantis, many migrating to various parts of the globe and interbreeding with other races. The primary concentration of the Anu remained in Atlantis, where open lines of commerce with their Syrian Anunnaki forefathers became a standard way of life. We're going to leave it right there, y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming through. It's a beautiful conversation. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can give me one more thought. Y'all can give me to 10K like, please. And I'll be live again tomorrow too, around the same time, 4 o'clock. Y'all can give me a couple more likes, please. Because we handling our business, man. I really, really appreciate y'all so much. If y'all take anything from this live, just treat yourself with respect, all right? You know what I'm saying? Don't allow these narratives surrounding being nice to people and being kind to people eat you alive. You know what I'm saying? They put certain names and stuff surrounding you just a nice guy, ain't you? Or you just no, I'm not a nice guy. I just care about people. That's all. I ain't taking no nothing, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just letting you know. What's the book? I got you. Let me change this background so you can see when I pin it. I got you. The Emerald Heart. That's not the name of the book. Hold on. I got you. That's the heart chakra, y'all. That's what we working on. The heart chakra, and make sure y'all align y'all root chakra, sacral chakra, and solar plexus chakra before y'all decide to open up any other chakras, because the bottom 3 chakras are what's VOYAGERS. The bottom chakras are what help align the 4, 5, and 6. All right. So don't rush yourself. CECSECRET. Yeah, don't rush yourself. All right. And breathe, man, because it like this information, like once you start studying it, you will start to directly connect to these benevolent ETs, and as well as these fallen ETs. So like I say, take your time and develop your root chakra so you can have stability within yourself, your sacral chakra so you can have your creative energy on 10, you know what I'm saying? So you can move this energy around and assemble your emotional body and stuff like that. Your root, your solar plexus for that willpower, that ability to, well, your chakras. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a diagram of what the chakras look like real quick, so you can know how to run the frequency in. Okay, so anyway, you get an idea. It was similar to that one I just showed you with the rainbows. This one. So you see how the root chakra is like your gooch. I'm so sorry for saying that, but that's your gooch. All right, that's right between your legs, right up under there. You know what I'm talking about? Well, for a guy, it's the gooch. For a woman, it's not the vagina, but it's like that area. The solar plexus is the reproductive organs. That's 2 inches below your navel. The solar plexus is like 2 inches below your sternum. Cooch. Yeah, the solar plexus is more directly connected to your vaginal area and stuff like that, but the root chakra is more connected to your like your tailbone. Yeah, do your Maharic seal. Yes. Let me show you a picture of that as well. But when you're running these frequencies, if you see the cones, you see how on the front side of the body, you pull energy in by breathing it in. So you, and then out the back. All right. Same thing go for your heart chakra, but you gotta gauge this picture. Your throat chakra, you know your throat chakra at. Your heart chakra in the center of your chest. You know. Yeah, do that Maharic seal. The Maharic seal is the foundation. Like, I swear to God, I run that thing every day. Like my birthdays be hard on my soul because of all the stuff surrounding it. But I ran the Maharic seal today, and you know, I've dealt with it a lot better this time around. Because last year I didn't know about it, so I just had a emotional breakdown last year on my birthday. But this time around, it's not the same. I still get that emotional feeling like I'm sad, but I deal with it a lot differently because the Maharic seal helped me take a like the Maharic seal gives it that flow. It's like building a portal bridge around conflicting energy, so it gives the energy a direction. Right? Don't that make sense, y'all? Yeah, building a portal bridge around the energies that you have a hard time with processing. That's what the Maharic seal is. Yeah, I'm gonna repost this on my YouTube. I want y'all please go subscribe to my YouTube because I just uploaded a live that I did yesterday. So if y'all miss any lives, I'll put it up on there. Here in my YouTube right here. Hold on. I'll be saying the same thing I say on here on there. It ain't no different. It's just videos. My lives do sound just like this. Like I don't know if I sound like I'm all over the place, but I know I'm not. It's just it just take the right person or people to actually, because I do my best to try to word myself. This is why I'm actually reading, so that way I won't be jumbling the messages up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like with my YouTube videos, the video itself ain't like I'm just sit there and watch it on TV. Just put your earphones in if you at work and you just listening. And I swear to God, while you're doing something at work, you may just have a epiphany, like, okay, now I know how to handle, now I know how to heal from my childhood. Now I know how to talk to my mom. Now I know how to talk, you know what I'm saying? That's how it works. It just come out of nowhere. But you are the structure of that coming out of nowhere. You are what allowed that to come out of nowhere. It really didn't come out of nowhere, but you know what I mean? Like in this world, it seems like a miracle but it's not. It's just quantum entanglement. You're interacting with the particles within you, so that way you can directly interface on the outside of you. So yeah, and honestly, that's how this information be impacting me. Like I keep reading it, and like today, I got an understanding of what they mean by the soul incarnate identities. But that don't mean it ain't much more to learn, because I'm still learn more. Shit. Thank you so much for becoming part of this fan club. Like I'm telling y'all, like I say, this information will never be charged. You'll never be charged with this information, bro. Ever. Okay, I'm making money in different ways. All right. This is not. The idea of paying for information is insane in my eyes. That's fucking stupid. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Not for the people that's actually making a living off of it because they need the money. That's different. But the people that know they don't need it but they still charge, come on now. Like I don't need it, so I'm not gonna charge. All right. Right. But thank y'all so much for being here with me, man. Today my birthday. I'm finna just go outside. I hope it's not that windy. And just stare into the sky and appreciate existence, man. And work on observing these particles every day. Thank y'all so much. I'll be re-uploading. Let me pin this thing one more time because I really want some subscribers. So that way I know my videos are, reaching out to people. Yeah. My birthday was the 4th. Hey, happy belated birthday. And thank you, Stevie Joe. Thank you. I really, like, y'all are literally helping me heal. Like, y'all don't even know. Y'all really are helping me heal. Being able to receive happy birthdays, because it'd be hard, especially for my mom, and it'd be hard. But what I'm learning here, I'm gonna place there. Okay. Thank y'all so much. Well, y'all go subscribe. Y'all follow me on TikTok. Y'all go look at my my TikTok repost and my TikTok. You just had your birthday on 8th. Happy birthday! Like, what the heck? All these Januaries. Let's go. Let's go, man. But yeah, y'all look at my my saved collections. I got Ashiana Dean playlists on there. Y'all look at my reposts, my actual posts. My YouTube is also my Instagram too, so my Instagram got information on there too. But yeah, I mean, I got information on 3 platforms, and I hope this bring out the best of y'all, man. Like, so y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. All right. Thank y'all so much. Love everybody.